Well, Operation Ghost fans, welcome to part 2 of Harper's Ferry. I received quite a few requests to travel back to Harper's Ferry for a part 2 of my paranormal investigation. So that's what I did. I did gather quite a bit of evidence last time. My favorite from last time was the mysterious ghost boy. This is Robert Harper's house, and it's believed that his 2 children and wife haunts this house, and I believe this is one of his children. This was also a photo from last investigation that I always figured was his wife. I'm not going to bother boring you with 10 minutes of history. If you would like the history, check out Harper's Ferry 1. Essentially what you have here is Harper Ferry's house, and here is John Brown's fort. John Brown was captured inside of this fort, and there was a person bayoneted to the wall. For obvious reasons, these 2 places were my focus point for this investigation. A small look inside of Robert Harper's last stand. This place always did stick out to me because I always got really good EMF readings, although I can't seem to find an electricity source. Naturally, I kicked things off with my EMF reader and an EVP session right outside of John Brown's fort. I was fortunate enough to start off hot with some solid EMF readings, although I didn't get any voices on this one. You can speak directly into this camera if you want. I decided I would move to Robert Harper's house and try an EVP session, and I was shocked at some of the sounds I recorded. EVP session right in front of Robert Harper's house. Robert Harper, are you here with us? I feel like that was a direct response from somebody who was not Robert Harper. If you look right up there on those stones, I was standing right there by that porch. Listen to this clip a few more times and see what you think. Robert Harper, are you here with us? Robert Harper, are you here with us? Robert Harper, are you here with us? What I heard next was almost like a weird gasp after I asked if I was able to sit on the porch. Just FYI, this is notoriously the most haunted house in all of Harper's Ferry. Hey Robert, is it cool if I do an EVP session right up here by your house? Touch your porch? EVP session right up here by your house? Touch your porch? Hey Robert, is it cool if I do an EVP session right up here by your house? Touch your porch? Fortunately, it didn't end there. I decided to take my full spectrum camera and go around the house and take as many photos as possible. This was the first photo I found that was interesting. If you look at the top right of the balcony, you can clearly see Head and Shoulders, along with the orb to the right. In this next photo, it appears that the orb has left and now the apparition is almost vanishing. This photo was taken in the same place directly after the first photo. This was taken 24 hours later after those photos. If you look in the top right, once again, you can see what looks like 2 eyes floating in the air. This is definitely one insane photo. If you look closely, it even appears like those 2 eyes have a mask that comes along with it. I can't help but wonder, is this the same thing that was speaking to me or making noises in the beginning of the video? I'm going to throw a couple photos in here just because I can't necessarily explain what this is. Here you can see 2 separate orbs, and here you can see one. It's like they're moving and changing, and I cannot explain that. I decided to head to the back of the house and take a couple pictures, and if you look in the top left window, it looks like there's 2 hands and an arm in that. I went back through other photos trying to see that window again, and I did see it from a couple other angles, and I never saw anything like that at all. This place sure does give me the creeps. My last attempt at any communication came here. Since it was John Brown who pretty much started the Civil War and kicked it off with all the violence, I decided to go back to his fort. I was speaking a lot about slavery and trying to be relevant to get a reaction, and I was getting a lot of hits on my EMF, and I even had my voice affected. The sound you will hear my voice make in this video, I've never had this happen anywhere before.
We have to get the slaves now. I don't care what John Brown says, let's get the slaves. We have to get the slaves now. I don't care what John Brown says, let's get the slaves. We have to get the slaves now. I don't care what John Brown says, let's get the slaves.
Well, after all this, that's all the evidence that I gathered on this trip. I feel like all in all, I was pretty successful gathering evidence. I mean, coming across this photo I took with two hands in the window absolutely creeped me out. Being fortunate enough to stand in front of Robert Harper's house and gather voices, gather photos of different things, this place is without a doubt a paranormal hotspot. Being the place that started the Civil War, I 10 out of 10 recommend this place, and I do believe it is haunted. Thank you all for watching, and please subscribe.